In this video, we will discuss the differences between carburizing or reducing flame and oxidizing flame. So these flames are produced in a gas welding. So the very first difference, carburizing flame is obtained when less oxygen than that is required for stoichiometrically complete combustion is supplied. So in case of carburizing flame, so the carburizing flame is obtained when less oxygen is supplied, and that oxygen is supplied less than the stoichiometric ratio. So the stoichiometric ratio for the complete combustion of acetylene gas is 13:1. That means 13 kg of oxygen is required for complete combustion of 1 kg of acetylene. Now oxidizing flame. Oxidizing flame is obtained when excess oxygen than that is required for stoichiometrically complete combustion is supplied. So the oxidizing flame is obtained when excess oxygen is supplied. Next difference, incomplete combustion of gaseous fuels like acetylene, propylene, propane, natural gas takes place within the flame. So in carburizing flame, what happened? The less oxygen is supplied, and the gas welding, during the gas welding, the various types of gaseous fuels are used like acetylene, propylene, propane, natural gases, and due to less supply of oxygen, there is an incomplete combustion of this gaseous fuel. Now oxidizing flame, complete combustion of gaseous fuel occurs within the flame. Even after the entire fuel burns out, oxygen remains in excess. So in case of oxidizing flame, what happened? The excess oxygen is supplied, and that is why we are getting oxidizing flame, right? And even after the complete combustion, some amount of oxygen left. Next difference, a carburizing flame consists of three distinct layers: inner white cone, intermediate reddish flame feather, and outer bluish flame. So here you can see this is nothing but your carburizing flame. So it consists of three different layers or three different regions. So the inner bright cone, then the middle one, that is acetylene feather cone, and the outer envelope, that is bluish in color. Now oxidizing flame. An oxidizing flame typically consists of two layers, inner white cone and outer bluish flame. So here you can see the oxidizing flame. It consists of only two layers, that is inner cone and the outer envelope. Next difference, due to scarcity in oxygen, first stage of combustion reaction occurs for a wide area. This results a comparatively larger inner cone. So your carburizing flame consists of large inner cone due to less supply of oxygen. Then the oxidizing flame, due to excess oxygen supply, the first stage of combustion reaction occurs quickly within a small area. This results in a smaller inner cone. So here you can see a smaller pointed inner cone. And why it is occur? Because of excess supply of oxygen, and due to that the combustion happens quickly over a small area, and that is why we are getting a pointed cone. Due to larger size, the average temperature at the inner cone is comparatively less, around 2900 degrees Celsius. The heat intensity is also comparatively less at the inner cone. So as this inner cone is larger in area, and hence its temperature is low. Its temperature is comparatively low, and it is around 2900 degrees Celsius, and due to its large area, its intensity is also less. Due to smaller size, the heat intensity and the temperature are more at the inner cone. The inner temperature can be as high as 3300 degrees Celsius. So here you can see the oxidizing flame, and this flame consists of a pointed cone, and due to complete combustion of the gaseous fuel, the temperature is around 3300 degrees Celsius, and its intensity is also comparatively high than the carburizing flame. Next point, carburizing flame can induce carbon atoms into the weld bead or take out oxygen atoms from the weld bead. So the carburizing flame, it induces the carbon atom into the weld bead, and hence its name is carburizing flame, because it induces the carbon atom. At the same time, it takes out the oxygen atom from the weld bead. and hence its name is reducing flame because it reduces the oxygen. Now the oxidizing flame. Oxidizing flame can diffuse oxygen atoms into the weld bead or take out the carbon atom from the weld bead. So as the oxidizing flame induces the oxygen into the weld bead, hence its name is oxidizing flame. So it creates the oxidation process. Okay, and that is why sometimes this oxidizing flame is not desirable for the welding because of oxidation process. Next point, the weld bead formed with the carburizing flame can be somewhat hard and brittle than the corresponding parent atom. So whatever weld bead we are getting with the help of carburizing flame, it is somewhat hard and brittle due to the induction of carbon atom. Now oxidizing flame. The weld bead formed with oxidizing flame can be comparatively softer and ductile than the corresponding parent components. Next point, gas welding with this flame is less noisy. So the carburizing or reducing flame is less noisy because of incomplete combustion, whereas the gas welding with this flame can be comparatively more noisy. So the oxidizing flame is comparatively more noisy because a complete combustion, excess oxygen is supplied. So complete combustion takes place and it is more noisy. The last point, carburizing flame can be used when the components are rich in carbon or free from oxygen. This flame is commonly used while joining high carbon steel, cast iron, high speed steel, oxygen free copper. So mostly the carburizing flame is used when the material is excess with the carbon. Okay, the material like high carbon steel, cast iron, high speed steel. For this material the carburizing flame is used. Now the oxidizing flame. Oxidizing flame is preferred for joining the components made of low carbon ferrous alloy and non ferrous alloys. So this is the difference in between carburizing and oxidizing flame.